You all. I'm sure you all are happy to see each other, happy to see me as well. Um, Thank you for joining today. We are going to discuss a very important topic uh, today. That is the unholy triad of Jezebel, Absalom, and Leviathan. Okay. Um, So, how do we identify these spirits when they are manifesting? How do you make notice of it? And how do I and you internally self-reflect if these are the we if we have given if we have given space for these spirits to occupy or allow or given some space to manifest or allow us to or ruling in some portions of our life, right? So it's very important for us to know what the spirits are. And when I talk about spirit, I hope all of you do have an understanding of the grace. So we are not going to um, condemn, or we are not going to say anything about demonic and all that, but as the sons of God, we got to have an understanding of how the dynamics of how these spirits operate in a community, in a church, even in families, at workplaces, on what basis and how these are operating. So it's very important for a leader. If you are a leader in any capacity, in any place, okay, God has given us the wisdom and discernment to know not to condemn or not to reject or not to sort of uh, outburst, but to be very wise in tackling these ones, identifying these, and overcome it. And especially for communities, if you're a pastor of a church, you're a community leader, then it's very important for you to understand this so that you don't get you don't give up your position because of the pressure that comes on you, or you don't get depressed, or you don't get stressed, but you will know how to tackle these spirits, right? So there are so many different we had learned about Jezebel, Leviathan, and what was the other one? um
Absalom.
oh no, the other one earlier we had learned. um mm,
Mammon.
Mammon, yeah.
Spirit of Mammon.
Correct, Mammon. Thank you. So today we are not going to see about Mammon, but we are going to see Absalom instead of Mammon. These are the three more dominating, more predominantly working sort of spirits in the midst of community due to various wounds, various loopholes, various mindset, and the value that we carry, and sort of offense and all those things. Even we don't know the truth. So because of a lot of these aspects, lack of understanding, lack of wisdom, lack of commitment, accountability, we can allow these spirits to rule us, and not only rule, and also we can take people alongside of us and bring major chaos and confusion to communities and church. So it's very important for us, right? So I'm going to read from 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 to 7. If anyone, so these are the qualifications for a leader, okay? In a church, you all know, today we are going to talk about these unholy triad with the context of church, okay? But it might be, it's applicable for you in other places as well, because it's the same spirit, it's the same human beings, okay? So don't brand. So when I'm teaching this, I don't want you to go ahead and pinpoint somebody, oh, that person is dominated by Jezebel or Absalom. You don't have to brand people, and you don't have to tell them, oh, you are dominated by Jezebel spirit, I cast you in the name of Jesus Christ, and all those things. Don't get into deliverance ministry. It's for you to know It's for you. So in life, and in life, we can only control things that we can control, and there are certain things that are beyond our control, and about which we can pray about it, and just pray about it, and wait for the best things to happen. But I'm talking about the things that you can control yourself. You can have an understanding of how you want to navigate your own life, in which way you should go, and how you interact, how you notice things in the community. And if you have an authorization, you are under power, you have the power to navigate and help the community thrive, or and overcome these spirits, then you got to be discerning and sorting these things out without labeling people. Okay, so we got to separate people from sin. Okay, you got to love the sinner but hate sin. You're getting me, right? So if you guys are understanding everything I'm saying, feel free to use the emojis so I will know you are tracking with me. If I'm talking fast, you got to tell me to go slow. So I believe all of you are tracking with me, right? So you will know, you in life, I want to emphasize that again and again. When people come for counseling, this is exactly, we say that you can take control, you can change yourself. You can't, we don't teach to change others. We can change ourselves, and therefore we impact the people around us by us changing and improvising, okay, and growing in maturity. Okay. um, So the quality in a church or in any organization, there are people who are in power and under authority, and there are people who are like employees or members. So, with the context of church, we are going to discuss all these things today. In a church, there are leaders, deacons, apostles, teachers, prophets, pastors, right? Fivefold ministry, all of you know, right? So, what are the qualifications of being a leader? Okay, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 to 7. If anyone aspires to have an overseer in the church, he desires a noble work. That's why it's essential that the overseer be without reproach, faithful to his wife or husband, temperate, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, and able to teach. He must not be a drunkard or a bully, but gentle and peaceful. He must not be someone who loves money. He must be responsible leader in his own household, having children who are well behaved and respectful. For if someone is unable to properly lead his own household, how could he properly lead God's household? Okay, he must not be a new believer. So a leader should not be a new believer, or he may become arrogant and fall into the same condemnation as the devil. Okay, furthermore, he must have a good reputation among those outside the church, so that he will not fall into disgrace and be caught up in a devil's trap. Okay, these are the qualifications of being a leader in a church. Okay, so first of all, we are going to talk about um, the spirit of Jezebel. Okay, what is the spirit of Jezebel? You'll understand if you know the story of Jezebel in the Bible. Okay, so when this is a very dominating, um, controlling spirit. Okay, as you continue to do tohu bohu, continue to grow, fill yourself with the word of God, you'll ascend into an understanding. So if somebody is speaking to me, and me or Sam, we are giving guidance, and we know where they are placed at even before they respond. Like if they respond, whether they are trying to whether they are openly receiving the word, submitted, interested in their growth, or they just want to do what they want to do, but they just want an approval from us. Am I good? Are you all tracking with me now, right? Yeah. Very good. So what Jezebel does is it sort of controls and really want to have really want to have a um, really want to have a authority, unauthorized, unclear authority. It doesn't have these are the people. Okay, so let's say I'm going to talk about um, Pastor Swarup's thing. Okay, let's say um, Pastor Swarup is anointed. Last year, he was ordained by Bishop Kirby under the ADC umbrella. Now he appoints who is here. Let's say let's say Rama here, okay, and he tells, okay, Rama, he authorizes, he is the covering, spiritual covering for Spirit Revelation Legacy Church, and he as the leader, the covering umbrella, he authorizes, Rama, you are the worship leader, and you are responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the functions for which you are responsible, and you got to do it. So he is giving a very clear authorization to Rama, okay, or anybody else, okay. So she is authorized, okay, and so she is an authorized leader to function in that capacity for which she has been appointed to worship. So she will operate in her lane, and she's not going to project herself or tell everybody else, "Hey, I am the intercession leader, I am the assistant pastor," or anything else. She is not supposed to be operating under that. So when I'm talking today, take everything with a pinch of salt. Okay, don't take a literal meaning, right? So some point in time, if somebody in her hospital where she is working, if somebody is coming for prayer, she can't say that I'm not an intercession leader, I'm not going to pray. As a believer, you have the authority to pray, so she can pray. But when it comes to operating under this umbrella of church, she will function in that what she has been appointed for. Okay, so there is a structure in the church. Every church will have a structure. It's totally up to them what kind of structure they want to have, what kind of leaders they want to have, what kind of events, how they want to penetrate uh, the city or the nation with the gospel. It is the vision and mission of the senior pastor, who in turn is accountable to someone else over him. Okay, according to that, they will have a structure. I really don't know the very complete blueprint of how the structure in Swarup's case, but then this is a good example. Okay, so the structure, that people who have authority and authorized to work in that, they don't have to be threatened by anybody else. They will decree, declare. Okay, like at home, if there are parents, mother and father, okay, each one is called to function in a different role, but nobody is higher than other, right? So each one will function in their own role, which is agreeable to both, and the children are expected to be in submission. Okay, the children have to be submissive to the parents. Okay, so there is a structure everywhere. If you go to a company, y'all are working in a small company, MSME or MNC, there is a structure. You go to marketplaces, businesses, there is a structure, right? So in church also we operate under a structure. Okay, so Jezebel, how you will identify it is an unauthorized voice influencing decisions. A person who is nobody in the church, okay, nobody in the sense, I'm not saying nobody, a member in the church, and trying to influence the leaders and the others and the members with a personal agenda, with a hidden agenda, from a place of unconscious from unconscious place, they can influence others, cause confusion, right? So it's very important for the pastor or the leader to be communicating and having a very strong network of communication and relationship, so he or she will know what exactly happening in their sphere of influence. Okay. Okay. So you'll identify immediately if somebody is asking who, why you're the Rama, why you are the worship leader, why you only have to be there, why can't this person? So that's the questioning of a leader. Okay, Jezebel is trying to control who should be the worship leader, who should not be. So bringing confusion, trying to bring control there. Okay, and that person, if they are really interested, they have the gift, they might as well go and talk to Pastor Swarup and ask, can I be a part of the choir? Can I also lead worship? I have this gift and I'm anointed. So they will go and reach out to the leader rather than making a network of people who are unauthorized. Okay. Also, you would notice that some people will be coming, joining, and all of a sudden they will suddenly go missing. Okay, so people come to church for with different expectations, and when you come under a structure, you align with the structure, you align with the mission and vision of that church rather than imposing your expectations. Okay, so if people are misaligned, they will expect something which is not, which may happen, may not happen. They'll get disappointed, they'll have offense, and then they will leave the church. If they are transparent, they will come and talk to the pastor. But as a pastor, you should not be worried about people who are leaving. It's not your duty to go and chase people who just leave the community without even information. Okay. Many times we have experienced people come and join the community, they go away. There is we would have taken care of them really, really very well at a lot of um, effort and counseling, and a lot of investment has gone, but the same person can turn against, because they are influenced by the spirit of unholy triad, like it could be any of these, right? So they suddenly will go away, and if they come and talk to you, then you sort out. If it's not, see, when you're working with people, I'm talking about church as well as in your workplace as well. As long as you work with people, there will always be conflicts. There'll always be misunderstanding, right? So, not misunderstanding, meaning there'll always be um, sort of conflicts and or lack of understanding due to lack of communication or for any lack of mismatch of expectations. So it's very important for us to openly talk, sort out, iron things out, and move forward rather than just keeping quiet, calling the shots. It's not a thing for people to just call the shots, or a leader just call the shots and then not address the issue, not have empathy for the people. That doesn't work. So it's at both the ways it works. Also for the people to go and talk. If the leader is expected to be open-minded and be able to receive the feedback from people. If they are receiving that, they are doing that, then it's going to thrive. The community is going to thrive, right? So it's a interpersonal relationship, two-way communication, two-way understanding. Okay, a relationship will thrive only when both the parties make an effort to keep the relationship moving forward. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now you will see, you can identify the spirit of Jezebel when there are a lot of side conversations happening, not talking to the person with whom you need to clarify, but talking about the person, talking about Pastor Swarup, talking about Rama to somebody else. Oh, they did this and this and this. And so, who are we to judge a person, right? You have problem, or you identify, you point out some mistakes. You can go and tell the person if they are open, or just pray about it. Don't go ahead and do scandalizing people, talking about people. Okay, it's not good for you, it's not good for the community where which you're part of. Okay, so the leader is not expected to suddenly explode one day and fire everybody. Okay, hire and fire, or just keeping quiet. Let them do whatever they want. God will judge. Yeah, God is in you, and God has called you to talk and sort out the issues, right? There are certain times, many times when we started this India campus, people just came for so many different, so many different agenda, right? And many times the people whom we have helped the most turned against, because they came with a different agenda. They tried to manipulate, and the main problem is that they don't want to follow structure. They don't, because they just want to do a window shopping. They just want to treat church like an ATM. You go and put your prayer request. I am part of your church, so I am coming there. You better pray for me. You better meet all my needs. And but I don't have any accountability. I am not going to, I will do whatever I want to do. Okay, so relationship is two way. It's not only demanding or pressurizing the pastor to just pray and release all the blessings. How you are reciprocating your responsibility by how you are helping. What can I do for the church? How can I help you, pastor? And all those things you got to ask. You're not there like doing shopping. Okay, church is not a place where you will just, you're coming there to load all. Yeah, definitely you come there to feel the presence of God. Release all your tension, stress, and everything. The presence of God will take care. Remember that your leader, the pastor, is also a human being, a work in progress. Okay, so it is a two-way relationship. You do, you help, and you also get helped. That's the way it works, because most of the people come, oh my God, I have a toothache, and tomorrow I have a fever, my children's admission, my daughter's marriage, son's divorce, and all these things. Okay, fine, everything. The pastor will have compassion, pray with you, and everything. But when the blessing comes, don't just run away. Okay, because again, life is going to be lot of with a lot of challenges. You need a community. You need to be under the covering to continue to navigate your life with all the struggles, all the ups and downs. Okay, it's some immature people come there once a blessing is got, they just forget about the community. No response, no call for calls, no response for text, nothing. They are in their own world, and next one sudden problem will come, they'll come back running to the pastor. Okay, it doesn't work that way. It's a long term relationship with people and with God, and you got to be growing in maturity, in truth, if you really seriously want to be a son in the house of God. Okay, so Jezebel meaning it will control emotionally. I have interacted with people. I as like we as a pastor, we should be putting like for all their social media, the Facebook, the Instagram, their WhatsApp, and everything. Otherwise, they will not respond to us. These sort of silly demands are kept on us. Okay, and if sometimes if we are busy, we are managing 150, 200 people, and we should be the one who is more available than them who don't have any team, right? So that sort of expectations, we should be available all the time. We should be praying for them. We should be helping them. So it's a consumeric mindset people have. Okay, they don't understand a pastor is a busy person. They have a life, family, they have business, they have work. In addition to that, they are also ministering to people. So they literally they are wearing 3 to 4 caps. and you as a member, you, or maybe you as a leader, you are just wearing one or two caps, and then you should understand. Okay, tit for tat, people do that. Okay, the pastor didn't respond to me, no, he's only responding to that person, no. So you're getting into a victim spirit. Who stopped you from reaching out to God? Your God is more powerful than your pastor, right? So you have access to God. Your pastor is not going to tell you can't pray to God without me approving you, without me, right? So don't ever get into a victim spirit, and don't try to control. These are the small checkpoints you can have. What you practice in the church is what is how you are going to behave in your workplaces. If you fine tune your behavior, your the integrity, the values, and everything that you are doing in the church, it's a training ground for you. You can really flourish um, in your workplaces, with your family. You will be the person everybody will like. Okay, so if you are a leader, if you are a pastor, if somebody is trying to control you through emotions, and trying to frustrate you so that you say, no, Baba, I don't want this church business, I better have peace of mind. I know many pastors have given up their ministry because of the pressure from people and persecution from people. Okay, don't abdicate your responsibility. And once you vacate your position, what comes next? People who take a break for silly reasons, people who take break, not willing to take a leadership position, right? So it's everything is about self, nothing about the community, nothing about the kingdom of God, nothing about others, right? So you are vacating your position. Let's say Rama is vacating her role as a worship leader, because somebody has told her that you didn't sing properly and there was no presence of God, or you're closer, and all these things they told. Then she said, no, but no, Pastor Swarup, I'm not going to continue this position. It's just too much for me. Okay, you're abdicating your responsibility, and in the whole thing, you're going to be having a wound, and you're going to have bitterness for the people. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is that you got to process when people are accusing you, persecuting you, telling things that is not true in you're clear in your conscience. You leave it, or you try to talk if they are open, or you just sort it out with your pastor. Okay, there should always be clear communications. Okay, when, and also if Pastor Swarup is assigning the responsibility, same responsibility to too many people, and they don't have a clarity in what they are expected to do, there will be confusion, there will be the spirit of Jezebel operating, because it makes the community weak. People don't know who should do what. That should be very clearly defined. Okay, there can be overlap, there can be a group of people doing the same thing, but they should understand each other. Okay, what we have seen is that every time we have to spoon feed, every time we have to treat people like a kindergarten teacher. Hey, do this one, send this message, do that one. There has to be some proactiveness from people also. Okay, so the second one, so any questions on the spirit of Jezebel so far? I think we have taken quite a bit of time for that. Any any questions, or y'all are okay? We can continue. We can continue. Okay. So know what you're assigned to do, what you're authorized to do. If you're a member, you're a leader under somebody, under a pastor, know what you're expected to do, and be a person who is authorized to do your responsibility, and don't abdicate your responsibility. Okay. So then you will not have bitterness, you will not be influenced by the spirit of Jezebel. The next one is spirit of Leviathan. Okay, this is what is happening in this world now. So much of AI videos are being released. so much of media propaganda is happening everywhere. Unless until you are in that place, you really don't know what exactly is happening in this world and why all that is happening. You have no idea, right? Because the the reason behind all these things could be so different than what we perceive, because all that we know is that we are sitting like thousands of kilometers away and we're reading some reel, we are going through some reels, reading some news, watching some YouTube, and we're trying to understand, oh, this person is bad and that person is good, these people are suffering this and that. Okay, there's a bigger theory or bigger history for all these things happening. Okay, so when you will know when why Leviathan is manifesting, because like I said, people are coming to church or community, and everything is about themselves, nothing is about others, nothing, everything is about receiving, nothing is about giving. Okay, and they are the ones, and then they expect something from others. Maybe as soon as people just join the community, they want to really promote their business and they want to make friends, because they don't have any friends, or maybe they there's a lot of issues outside. They come, and then I'm not generalizing, but these are the challenges you would see, right? And people will always demand your time. Okay, maybe between friends or maybe from the pastor, they will expect, always they want to be, you should be the comfort cushion for them to dump all their problems. Okay, behave like little babies or kindergarten, that you should always be the comfort cushion. A pastor is not called to do that. Imagine 1,000 people doing that to a pastor. How will a pastor have any time for himself or to pray or have relationship with God, right? So and they will come, and the gossip, it all starts with the gossip. Okay, they come to community, and they have this value that they want to be really powerful, influential, they want to be visible, and all these things, and they expect, they don't express the interest, but they expect a pastor or a leader to appoint them in certain positions. Okay, and when that is not met, they get offended, they go ahead and they talk to other people. Okay, you know, she is only favoring this person, she is not favoring that person, and she will be like this and she is not that, all those things, right? So uh, so all sort of gossip, they will be, they will not come directly. The spirit will not come and talk to the leader directly in person. Let's say I have an offense with you, I'll call up and say, hey, this is what we discuss and this is how we go about it. Shall we continue it? And then if you say a problem challenge that you are facing, okay, no problem. You take a break, then I'll share your assign your responsibility to somebody else, and they will take over. But you're offended with me and then suddenly you go missing, you don't respond to any messages, but you want titles and positions, and at the same time you're calling people, you're the person who don't respond to any messages in the group, but you have all the time in the world to talk to your friends and talk about people, talk about leaders, talk about communities. Okay, that's a scandal that you're spreading. And you invite people home, you give them food, and the majority of your conversation is about the others than yourself, and that too will be the negative than the positives. Then that's the spirit of Leviathan, a twisted opinion. It's talking the twisted opinion about you, just because one time pastor would have answered your query, prayed for you 999 times, but one time that person, because of some issues, health issues, family issues, they might not have responded to you on time, and that one time you're just waiting, you're just waiting to catch the pastor and then talk about the, oh, this, is always like that, favoring this person, they never give importance to me, why should I be part of this community? All this sort of nonsense comes in picture. Okay, check your heart and what is your responsibility. And is it everything about yourself, or you're a person who's coming to the community to give and receive, or you're just sitting there as a consumer? That's a very dangerous place to be in. Okay. So, and also many times you get offended without any clarity. You don't go talk to the person leader, but you assume things about the leader, and then you talk about the leader, misinterpret things, and poison the other innocent people also. Because you're offended, you're angry, you're bitter, you go and influence other people in the community with the same thing. Remember, the measure in which you judge, you will be judged with the same measure. So it's not about you're playing with fire. Playing with fire, what you sow, you are, I'm not saying that it's a law going to come back, but this is the place you choose yourself to be in. You get yourself into that place of sowing wrong things, scandalizing, dividing communities. I have seen people losing their finances. I know that many people, some of the people I know, when they talk to me, they talk to the on my face very nicely and all those things, but behind my back they speak a lot. I'm like spiritually sensitive, so I can really, but I don't judge them. Okay, I know, I just leave it at that. But they are the one who gets trapped. They'll talk about us, accuse and scandalize, and some many times they lost their lot of things in their personal lives, and that the same person will come back to us crying, asking for prayers. Okay, so we just let go of everything. The more the responsibility, more your ego is thrown under the bus 10,000 times. More you are in a place to let go, forgive the person, unconditionally love the person, love and also correct the person. Okay, I'll come to that point. So very important for us to, many times it has happened. Many times people have really tried to divide our community because they are unhappy with us. For whatever reason, they couldn't control us. They couldn't dictate terms to us. They have gone ahead and spread lie, and whatever seed they have sown, they have reaped it. Okay, so it's important for us to really discern as a leader, also as a member. Be very careful, you're playing with fire. You don't want to scandalize. Okay, remember that everybody is a human person, a human being, and God is at work. Okay, and if there is no clear communication, okay, if there is ambiguity, and if there is a, as a leader, as a pastor, if I'm talking about one person, this so and so should have done this one, that one, and all that, I'm talking to other people than that person. Okay, then I'm not a good leader. Okay, so you would have seen, even for this back to basics session, how many times we communicate. We make sure that everybody understands. Okay, are you guys good?
Yes, Chitra.
Okay. So be very careful, guys, when you scandalize, talk about people, because you are a person who want to entertain those who are gossiping. They are going to talk about you also. In 101% possibility, if somebody is coming and complaining about so and so, they are going to come talk about you to other people as well. I can give it in written. Okay. So be very careful what you want to partnership with. Okay, when you meet people and make and all those things, talk about yourself, your growth and God and all these things, not about people unnecessarily, right? Next is the spirit of Absalom. Okay, so spirit of Absalom is, you all know, right, the story of Absalom and David. Okay, um Absalom is a traitor. Okay. Uh, so when people were on their way to meet King David, Absalom will sit outside and catch people and try to influence them, telling all bad things about the king. Why? when people are so jealous of what you carry and who you are as a person, and the influence that you have on people, they're jealous. But they can also get there by growing in maturity, being submissive, God fearing, right? But they're jealous. They want instant gratification from people, right? If you are a person who is wounded, okay, in your part of a church or a part of a community, you are wounded for some reasons, okay, and uh, let's talk about an same example of Rama, okay. XY person is not lacking the worship style of Rama, okay. And maybe Rama and XY has a difference in opinion, and their values are different, okay. We all are not called to be the same cookie, the cookies from the, like a same shape, and all those things, cookie cutter cookies, right? So the each one of us tongues of fire, right? Different tongues of fire. So each one has their unique value, their personality type, their belief system, and everything is there. But so if let's say Rama didn't get along with somebody, but they are not bitter against each other, but they are not offensive. Rama is not bitter or offensive, but the other person, XY person, okay, doesn't like her style of worship, but that's just one part of it, okay. Leave the functions aside, okay, I'm telling you, leave the functions aside, everything aside. As a person, do you like Rama or not? That's the question you should be asked, okay. And how far are you looking at Rama on a transactional basis, or you are looking at Rama as a body of Christ, as a woman of God who is a work in progress, okay. Many times what happens with people is that they just want to judge me and Swaroop and Sam and Prophet Kirby and everybody. They just want to judge people transactional basis. Oh, this instant today you met my demands and you kept me happy, so I will give you score of 101. Tomorrow you don't respond to my calls or text or anything, then you are zero. Okay, so this is a way, this is the attitude of, this is something of like, this is people can come across like this. I mean, not people, the behavior can't be like this, okay. So you can't judge, you can't build relationship in a family, in a church, in a community based on transaction. Look at the person, have they been good to you in the past? Maybe today what situation they are in, what struggle they are going through, you don't have visibility to that, okay. So the whole concept is that it's like we all are being volunteers and be grateful. People who don't have gratitude can get into this very very easily, okay. So the XY person doesn't like Rama style of leading worship, but at the same time personally she doesn't like Rama. So that XY person go and talks to Lavanya and say, hey, uh, I am very hurt, yeah, by the way this person is spoke to me. And Lavanya is also, let's say Lavanya is also hurt, and then she will join the Jing Bang and say, yes, yeah, I know from the day one I don't like Rama. I don't like her, the way she behaves, and she's so proud and that. And then the two people joined hands. And then she goes to Shiny Sakina, and she says, hey, do you know this? Two people are now coming and forming another gang, right? So, and then she says, just as an example, I'm saying, and Shiny, did you of late, did you see the attitude of this Rama girl? I don't know what she thinks of herself. She thinks she's too anointed and all these things. Then now three people against one person. Okay. All the wounded souls. Okay. They all have a interest. They all have an interest. What is the interest? They don't like Rama for whatever reason. So they are forming gangs. Hey, I don't like this person, and you come and join. And then the party keeps extending. Okay, the bigger group of people. And one fine day, all the three decide to write a letter. They all the three, I mean, this has happened with me, so I'm telling. Uh, all the three decided to write a letter to Pastor Swarup. They did not, yeah, it's hilarious only. So they don't want to talk to Rama, and they don't want to. They are meeting every week after week, maybe weekly thrice, but they don't want to talk. Rama is teachable, but they don't want to speak. They just jealous of her leading from the front. So they write a long letter for 2 pages, and then they post it to Swarup, and then Swarup's boss, maybe Bishop Kirby, also they write it to this person, right? So the the people who have the similar interest, okay, they will join Jing Bang, okay, and their agenda is same, and they do things like that. Okay, they stab you at the back. It is not for your good. Okay, so it's if you are a person who's jealous of somebody else, or if you are dominated by these kind of unholy feelings, jealousy or peer to peer pressure. Everybody wants to be a hero and heroine in the church, no? We all want to be in the that is where our identity comes, no? People in South, you are a pastor, then you have a very like 1,000 marks, and you are a person who is working and pastoring, then you got 100 marks, because a full-time pastor is more powerful than other person who's also working. I'm telling it's just the opposite. A person who has the anointing, I'm not discrediting full-time ministers, I honor them, but a person who is managing family and business and workplace and pastoring, don't you think they have so much more capacity? They are so more wise, right? So and then these people will, oh, you are a corporate, huh? People have branded me that I am a corporate. And so maybe, then we treat the community like corporate. Branding people. And they will go and talk to the people who have the similar interest. Oh, you don't like the corporate people, no? Because you are a housewife and you don't like corporate, no? And because you are whatever, and then so they all the opposite of corporate join together, and then they write a letter to Bishop Kirby. Okay, thank God we all are under Bishop Kirby, who believes in whom they have appointed as leaders, right? So they don't have the integrity, they don't have the transparency to talk to us, but they will go and talk behind us, talk about us, and all these things, because they are painful, they are hurting, they are wounded, they have bitterness. So similar, the person of interest, same level of interest. Okay, so based on this, people will form groups. Okay, now I want to tell you guys, right? Jesus is the Lord and Savior. He saves you, He loves you. Jesus is not only love, love and truth and justice. Okay, Jesus is pretty much in for justice as well as love. If you think you are just, if you just think, oh, the church should be only lovey-dovey, 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 I'm not a person who can be taught by anybody, I know it all, you can't grow, you will stay immature. Okay, truth and justice, truth has to be revealed. If the pastor doesn't tell you, I believe pastor as the covering, God will grant him the wisdom, the discernment, and the truth. So if he, from his position, if he tells you the truth, telling you that you are in a very unconscious place, you got to move into a conscious place, get the truth and grow, then you better listen, be submissive under that person and grow, choose to grow, than just choosing to go out of the covering by disobeying. Okay, covering is available for all the people. It is we who choose to go outside of the covering by not submitting, by not complying, by disrespecting the covering. You keep shooting the covering, you make a hole in your covering, and one day when it rains, you're going to be wet. not anybody else. Okay. So people who don't want to be submitted, people who don't want to be taught and corrected, people who choose to stay painful and hurting, they don't want to heal. They don't want to address the issue. They don't want to ask God, I'm hurting in this specific area, God. I don't know what to do. Somehow heal me and bring a person who can minister to me and administer healing to me. Okay. You choose to be in a place of hurting and not willing to be submitted. Okay. Then it's going to be bad for you, not for anybody else. Okay, Jesus is not only a lovey-dovey God. He wants us. You have seen him that he had righteous anger. When he saw injustice, he brought justice. Okay, so your leader will love you, at the same time will correct you also. But the leader is not exempted from correction, but you are not the person to correct your leader. Let me say that also clear. You can tell your leader some feedback, some suggestions, but many time people come and tell, hey, you should do this, you should do that. We are always open to feedback. Even in the sessions, we ask, you have any questions, you have any suggestions, feedback. But many times people go and talk gossip and scandal that she should no, she should do like this, no, she should this thing, no, this should that, no. There is a structure given to us and we are just implementing. It is not our decision, right? So but at the same time, you as a member, if you are a member, you're not taken given time or made effort to be responsible, to be in a place of leader. You're not a leader, you're not even committing to be a leader in your church. You can't go and correct your pastor. You're not authorized to do. Your pastor, your leader is authorized to take commands from God and their boss, or they are applying, not from you. Because people do vote, exercise their citizenship, people just want to dictate. Do you dictate your chief minister, your MLA, your prime minister, what they should do and how they should do? Do you do that? Because you have no idea, you've never been in their position. So how you know what they go through, what kind of wisdom they need, how to tackle, what kind of wisdom they need to have? You've never been in that position. So how can you tell them what they should do? But the people above a pastor, above the leader, know they have been there. That's why they are up, higher up. They will know, they will tell what to do. So leader need to take feedback or correction from their higher up and from God. You don't get into that. If you do that, then you are operating under the spirit of Jezebel. You want to control everybody, right? You're an unauthorized person to correct and control. You can, if your pastor is your friend, then you can submit it to them, but you can't control it. Okay. So and then sometime on an underlying statement, because I love you so much, no, that's why I'm telling. Okay, so keep the emotions outside. Okay, and create safe space for people to thrive. Okay, a leader cannot only, some leaders are very scared and afraid that if I correct this person is a crorepati, no, millionaire, no, billionaire, no, if I and they allow that person to rule over the leader, the pastor, right? And then that's not a good sign. You lost your authority, you've given it to somebody else. Doesn't matter how much money they give. Sometimes people try to uh, show little vibes to me and Sam, because sometimes they want to influence with the different meanings, with different means, right? So you got to have a very clear understanding who from whom you will take the commands, and who you will take the corrections. Okay, so that is I'm talking about balancing the law and grace, law and grace, law and grace. We're not completely religious, not controlling people. Leader is not controlling people. At the same time, if you are a grace church, don't let the crowd, the member, the community, the church control you as well. Okay, so I hope that was useful. In summary, I just want to tell you guys that what you tolerate, you empower. What you tolerate, you empower. So sort it out as soon as possible. Okay. So any questions? I'm done. As usual, I have finished in an hour. It's 10:03 now. Any questions? Any questions anybody has? I also want to do one more session on one more topic I want to do, which is very important, but I will post it in the group. Okay. So thank you all for joining today. And I want one thing from each one of you. Just share what impressed you the most, what you learned today from today's session, how it blessed you. Just one line, one word, two words. Share it in the group, please. I'll be really happy. And if you want me to teach any other session, just put it in the post it in the group. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bless you.
Hi, Chitra. I do have a question. Sorry for the late response. You mentioned just now that uh, uh, what you tolerate, you empower. So sort it out, right?
Mhm.
So suppose you're the type of person you really want to sort it out, like bring it out to the light and talk things out. What if the other person is not willing to and they're in denial?
So it is very situational. We can take it offline and talk about it, but we need to look at it from the context. Definitely, not everybody will be open to for a conversation for sorting things out. So in that situation, you will have to look other way out.
Okay.
Like I said, you will only look at how you want to change, how you want to address, and how you want to go away from that place. And if there is a like an workplace, then you can take it to your higher authorities and things like that. But if that is not applicable, then you got to move away from that person.
Yeah, because in the workplace, the corporate politics is also there. No?
Yeah, politics is always there.
Mm,
Yeah. So you got to safeguard yourself through communication. Communication is the key.
mm, mm.
You got to safeguard yourself of what work you're doing, how you're interacting, minutes of the meeting and stuff like that. You will record everything. So you safeguard yourself. We can't avoid the fire around us, but we can choose to not choose not to be harmed by the fire. That's all I'm talking about. We can't change the whole world, but we can navigate our way through the fire and the water and mountains, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chitra.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
And Rama, no offense. Lavanya, no offense. I just took you guys as an example. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye.